Tommy had always been a huge fan of horror movies and games. He loved the thrill of being scared and feeling his heart race with adrenaline. When he stumbled upon a virtual reality game, Deadly Woods, he was excited to delve into the world of fantasy and horror once again. He started the download and donned his headset, ready to dive in. He created his character and named him Kaldor, a brave young boy with a heart of gold who was determined to save the townspeople from the dark creatures that lay in wait in the haunted forest. Tommy spent hours exploring the forest, fighting off monsters, and finding clues to help him on his quest. As he progressed further into the game, he began to notice some strange things. The game was so immersive, so real. The more his character ventured through the world, the more real it felt. He swore he could almost smell the pines in the forest, feel the soft earth beneath his feet. He felt as though he was slowly fading away, becoming a part of the game. It was as if he was less and less himself with each passing moment, becoming more Kaldor than Tommy. At first he just thought it was a glitch in the game, like some new technique that the game developers had figured out to give the game that extra level of realism. But as the feeling persisted, he began to panic. Was something happening to him in real life? Tommy tried to quit the game, but he couldn't. He couldn't even seem to raise his arms enough to lift the headset from his head. He was trapped inside, and it seemed as though the game was alive and aware of his presence. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see dark shapes surrounding him in the woods, the tips of their fingers crackling with small bursts of electricity. One began to whisper, "No, chant." At first he couldn't make it out, but as it grew louder, he realized what the creature was saying. "Tommy, come home. Tommy, come home." Panicked, Tommy ran through the forest, hoping to find a way out. After several agonizing and exhausting minutes of running, he no longer saw the figures behind him. He bent over, trying to catch his breath. Just as he had it back under control, Tommy heard the sharp snap of a twig from behind a large bush beside him. As he backed away, a group of ghostly figures emerged from behind the bush. They seemed to be beckoning him towards them, but he was too scared to move. Suddenly, one of them lunged at him, arms outstretched. The fingertips of the creature reached him first, and he felt the pain of electricity coursing through his body. Real, actual pain. He struggled to hang on to consciousness, but the world was quickly fading around him. In the final moments before the darkness fully enveloped him, he swore he heard a woman scream. When he opened his eyes, he was back in his bedroom, lying on the floor. He tried to get up, but he couldn't move. He felt as though he was paralyzed. And then he heard a familiar voice in his head. A whisper at first, but then getting louder, just like the creatures chanting in the game. "Welcome to the other side," the voice said. "We've brought you home, Tommy. You've been home for a while now. You just didn't realize it until you died in the game. Now you can be home with us. Forever." Tommy couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had died in the game? That was impossible. But the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. He remembered feeling as though he was fading away even before the creatures attacked him, and now he was unable to move. He was trapped in his own body, his new home, with these creatures. As the realization sunk in, Tommy felt a sense of sadness wash over him. He had so much more he wanted to do in life, but now he was stuck in this purgatory, unable to move. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. He was alone with his thoughts, trapped in this endless void. The game had taken over his life, and now he was paying the ultimate price.